Please select a mission.
Alright, welcome back to Metal Gear Solid 5, the Ocarina of Time.
This contract comes from the Mbeli rebel militants. That's right. That general's fighters. Recently, one of their child soldier platoons staged an insurrection and split from the main group. Thing is, they took a hostage with them. The general's brother. His number 2. The contract is to extract both that prisoner and the leader of the renegade platoon.
Not as short as the next one, but it's very short.
I love my brother. You must bring him back to me alive. It also says this about the leader of the child soldiers. He is an excellent soldier. I want to persuade him to rejoin the ranks of the righteous. Sounds a little too forgiving for the man who ordered those kids dead at the mine. I wonder what kind of persuasion the general has in store. With that in mind, here are your objectives. First, rescue and return the general's number 2 as requested. Second, extract the renegade leader, and we'll keep him at Mother Base. In other words, extract both targets out of the region. Good luck, boss.
So I want to say, besides a series of side missions later on, this is really the last time we have to deal with the child soldiers.
Yeah, I can't think of any other times you really have to fight child soldiers.
Because they don't just like pop up in random missions, which I think would be cool, but they don't really do that.
Soldiers commander and their captive, the general's number 2. This child soldier platoon decided to break away from the Mbeli militants. They took the number 2 captive and have occupied an abandoned village.
Now, I saw something online that I thought was pretty interesting about the child soldiers, which claims that no 2 child soldiers wear the same uniform.
In this game? That would be interesting.
Yeah, the amount of detail apparently to stuff like that is incredible. Like, do you know if you throw someone in a shallow pond,
they can die
face down, yeah. They drown?
Mm-hmm.
Like, shit like that I think is just crazy, that the amount of detail they run into.
Yeah. Although I do like the idea of someone drowning in a very shallow pond. Yeah. Snake just had no idea that would happen.
What do you mean water makes people drown?
Now, I thought that if you're all bloody, you can go into a pond or whatever and try and wash yourself off. Because I tried that in one of these videos, actually, and it doesn't...
Really?
Doesn't work. I thought it could. Maybe it was just shallow enough. It wasn't shallow, or it was too shallow.
Yeah, maybe you need to, like, go into, like, a body of water.
So Ocelot's like, hey guys, you need to check this place out, but the kid's right there. This one also has a really annoying task where you have to, there's a prisoner escaping from another outpost.
Yeah, he was a pain in the dick to find.
Yeah, and you have to get him really quickly, so I just ignored that one.
The map has been updated.
And I do believe the other guy is around that area.
Yeah. And also I like how, like, if you take too long, the fucking child soldier reinforcements come and shit.
Yeah, that's the thing I'm really trying to, like, beat at this point. Because if you take too long looking for the prisoner, he'll die, and by the time you come back here, the reinforcements, child soldier reinforcements will come in. So it's like, do I get the commander first, and then see if I have enough time to save the prisoner before he dies, or do I go to the prisoner first and, you know, see if I can't beat the reinforcements back? So it's a really annoying side mission.
Uh-huh. Yeah, when I did this, I stood up on the hill that you came down, I just sniped everyone.
Oh yeah, that is, I think, recommended. Mm-hmm. Just, like, bring quiet with you, but I wanted to get here as fast as possible, so I just took D-Horse, which we've kind of been neglecting.
Have you gotten him to poop on command yet?
No. I don't take D-Horse with me in this Let's Play enough that I have him, like, properly leveled up. We've also been neglecting our Doge friend. Mostly just because I think Quiet is better than DD.
Debatable.
It is debatable.
They both have their strengths and weaknesses.
There's no way he can stand the shock of Okay, that's the general's brother, his number 2.
So, we don't have Fultons that can extract kids yet. So what we need to do is get him out via helicopter, or we could just exfil by land. And luckily there's a task that is extract both targets via land, so that's what we're going to be doing.
Another child soldier has...
And yeah, like, this kid definitely has a unique design. Like, I don't think I've seen any other child soldier wearing this.
Your map has
Security
been
will be tighter
updated.
now. Watch yourself.
Plant extraction arrived at mod development project has been added.
Run over the fucking coyote.
I was trying to.
Man, these tree physics, they're like out of this world.
It's better that they just break on impact than, oh, they stop your car. Because there's so many open world games that do that is really annoying.
Nice work. Keep it up.
Like Grand Theft Auto 4.
It's pretty much any Grand Theft Auto.
Arrived at mod base.
Do they do that in 5? I haven't played that one.
I haven't played it in a while, but yeah, I think so.
Mission complete, and
If I had to put money down.
you're gonna tell stories about this one, boss.
Once upon a time, Boss went to go extract a child soldier, and he did.
Yeah, that was a good mission. He's gonna tell that to Liquid one day.
It was right after he broke your wrist.
Exactly, it was right after that.
Boss, about how we report this one to the client. I'll tell them we took heavy resistance from the renegade platoon, and the hostage was killed in the firefight. Also, their leader wouldn't let himself be taken alive.
That kid looks like he's
I thought the
50.
client will pay us for this one, but we got a big enough reward from the general's number 2 instead. And as for the number 2, he's saying he wants to join Diamond Dogs. I guess he knows what that means for him. He said, if I'm working for you, I can be number 2 or number 200 for all I
So, in your opinion, what's the difference between Kaz being okay with, like, taking any old Russian soldier or child soldier or whatever, and Quiet? What's the difference?
Well, Quiet has tried to kill the boss on an occasion, and she tried killing soldiers of NSF.
Cold, but before we knew it, blisters started popping up on their chests.
And these guys didn't? They didn't try and kill the boss?
Yeah, but she's super powered and more of a threat.
You know who else is super powered?
Who?
Ocelot.
Is he though?
He's got an emetic memory. He remembers everything. That's why every night he reads an encyclopedia before he goes to sleep. That's why he knows everything in this game.
But we couldn't find any adults. It doesn't seem
This is dumb. I hate this part of the game.
We don't know the root of infection or what causes symptoms to develop. Boss, do you remember seeing these symptoms before? The bodies floating around in the
So pretty much everyone on Mother Base is getting sick. And the next, like, 3 missions, you pretty much have to do all at once. Like, you can't do any, like, side mission. You can. I wouldn't recommend it because all your people will start dying. So it's best to nip this in the bud before it can, like, turn into an epidemic on your Mother Base, because you will start losing people. It will start leveling down everything. And it's just no good.
You'll have to try and guess who's infected before they go symptomatic and quarantine them. That'd be easy if we just knew the route or vector of the infection. From now on, if you even suspect a staff member's infected, use your iDroid to order them into quarantine. Given the situation, the men won't submit to quarantine just because I or the medical team tell them to. But they will listen to you. Of course, it's just a temporary measure until
Yeah, I think anyone who speaks Kikongo will get infected. So if you put them all in quarantine, just everyone who speaks Kikongo, you won't, you know, spread the disease.
That's weird. Who would be targeting languages?
Captain America! What, that's not the joke?
No.
What were you going for?
I was just like really dumb foreshadowing.
Oh.
But that makes more sense that someone's just driving around on a motorcycle on Mother Base. Language!
Yeah, I figured that's the joke.
No.
Yeah, Captain America. No, yeah, it's
Yeah.
anyone who speaks Kakongo, if I believe correctly.
Facility we've set up. We'll isolate anyone who's already symptomatic at the quarantine facility. But we have to expect that there are multiple staff who are infected.
So yeah, I guess
but
just
asymptomatic.
quarantine anyone that speaks Kakongo as a safe.
Yeah, it took me like a good 30-40 minutes, and it wasn't even me who figured it out, it was my dad.
But there has to be
Really?
He was sitting there while I was playing it, and he goes, wait. Because I'm like looking at their faces and stuff, like their stats, going like, all right, so it's good, you know, if I, what's it going to be? And he's looking at like every other thing, like their names, and then he looks at the languages and goes, wait, these 6 guys all speak the same language, and I'm like, motherfucker.
I'm pretty sure if you lock down people, they don't get sick. And you'll save like your really good guys from getting sick.
Yeah.
Also, until we identify the pathogen, we can't fire or dispatch any staff. We cannot let this thing spread. Boss, get to the bottom of this fast. We're counting on you.
So the next little bit of this is just a briefing tape on what the like virus is. So I'm gonna let this part play for itself and see you next time.
Symptoms of the infection on Mother Base. The blisters on the body were full of tiny worms. Parasite larvae, most likely. But we couldn't find any adults. It doesn't seem to mature in the body, like a spargatum. We don't know the root of infection, or what causes symptoms to develop. The infection rate, along with the number of dead, are both on the rise. If we don't find the cause, and soon... Boss, do you remember seeing these symptoms before? The bodies floating around in the oil facility? The bedridden test subjects at the Devil's House? This epidemic looks just like what we've seen on our hunt for Cypher. It could be a counterplay by Skullface. That's insane. You mean they weaponize parasites? Parasites as weapons. That definitely falls under the Biological Weapons Convention. But it's something the world would never see coming. And no one's ever developed a vaccine for parasites. So this is the weapon of mass destruction Cypher was working on in Africa? It may be. But if it is, how did the Yellow Cake and Walker Gears fit in? There must be something bigger we're not seeing. Anyway, our priority now is to prevent more casualties. The medical team is studying the infection, but we can't treat anyone until we know the root cause. All we can do right now is halt the spread of infection. Remember before, boss? When Quiet attacked one of our guys on Mother Base, stuck a knife in his mouth. He's one of the very few soldiers who've had contact with her recently. Close contact. I don't think it's a coincidence that he was among those who became symptomatic pretty early on in this epidemic. Saliva and blood spatter, an open wound, mucosal infection. Whatever is causing this got inside him then. Miller, that is a baseless accusation. The source of the infection is Quiet. Everyone suspects her. We don't know that. And we've come across these symptoms before. The bodies in the water at the oil-filled facility. Those sick people in the beds at the Devil's House. They're identical to what we've seen while we've been after Cypher. The infection could have come from elsewhere. But at the very least, she does know something. It's not like she's gonna talk. No, not through words anyway. But what about her actions? Quiet held a knife to that soldier back then, before he became symptomatic. There must have been a reason for that. A reason for shoving a knife down the throat of one of our men. What if she's capable of identifying who's infected? What if she was trying to stop the infection but couldn't communicate that to us? The answer to that, the source of the infection, might be in the mouths of the infected. You think there's some kind of clue in their mouths? I don't know. But maybe there's something about the mouths of those who've become symptomatic, something in common. Something their mouths have in common. Forget it. We can't trust her. Even if she can spot the infected, I don't want her help. I understand how you feel. But this is something to go on. Can't you see it's just like I said? Bringing her here was a big mistake. quiet is gonna be the end of us.
Stand down. You've got zero proof. Try to keep an open mind on this, boss. There has to be a way to identify who's infected.
Please select a heading to Mother Base.